Well, at least you're left down. You're
I
right.
don't know, I'm not left-handed.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right.
Because we put it on upside down.
You could be
It's supposed to be
left-handed,
flush,
but-
but
I play music with my left hand, but I
because
don't.
that hooks from the hand on
Right. Well, I shoot
probably did
hockey.
3
Is that where you're
last,
working?
play golf.
I'm gonna do this one first and then get it out. No,
Makes-
that needs to go.
I can't play music. with
Thank
my
you.
left hand.
Yeah.
Press buttons with my
Shoes
left
as well.
It was one of them was my
Oh, wow.
bed. It was like those moms from my
I'm officially a clarinetist now.
Oh,
In
you are?
band, in band with my school.
Wow.
Would you guys mind help putting some of those chairs out so we have like some of them, just if anyone comes. That's perfect. Perfect. Thank you
I
guys.
was making it look like a movie theater.
Yeah, that's perfect.
You know those wrestling mats? The big roll up and you do two?
We just gotta put it in.
Ooh,
Well, in junior high, they put it in the corner of the gymnasium and kids would run up and jump in them. Why did that? Again, head first. Dived into it, fell. And then
I'm trying
that's
to
when I
find the-
decided-
I'm comfy.
Oh, auction. There it is.
And,
Took me a long time to find it.
so
Okay.
I'm gonna watch like a
Finger kiss, that's all you go in
spectator
there.
this
What
time.
was your first instinct as a kid?
Like,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
run as
go
fast as I can into that
spectator.
tube with a kid in front of it.
Can you pass me the
Yeah. And that was
aspirin?
Hi guys.
Because I crawled in one of those tubes.
What's up?
I just walked into the art gallery and with my first time.
There's,
Oh, nice.
those,
Yeah, what do you think?
those,
You like
full
it?
mats.
You got a lot of money to spend, I hope?
That's where you.
Oh.
Well, we had that at the bottom of the stage. You go on.
I mean, maybe.
Well, I saw the kids kind of rolling away from the mat, and I started climbing out. It fall, and I smoked my head right on the ground. I was concussed for. It was that big.
Where did you?
Are you going live?
It's live.
You
Yeah.
are live?
So
Reno and
Is the sound on? Did you check the sound?
yeah, I checked the sound
Yeti.
Can I show mine?
first.
Yes.
That's why.
Can we do it? Can I see?
All right.
I want to see that in black light.
We don't
Can
have the lights up right now.
No.
So,
Please, I wanna see
everybody,
After, okay.
it. Can we do it
this
at least to glow in the dark?
is Rumble 544. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I gotta go to the washer.
Thank you very, very, very much for joining us this
I'm
evening.
playing Switch.
I might fix the camera a little bit.
And giving me
Um,
candy.
Right. Thank you everyone for joining, for bringing snacks, for bringing your awesomeness, for making your artwork. Just before, what?
You annoyed at me.
No, I'm tired. I'm definitely not annoyed. I love this piece of art that you just made tonight. What are your open bid? I only teach English to one class. I'm really sorry.
$5 dues.
$5 dues for Rich Teru's son, Felix.
Says
Opening,
RP.
so opening bid $5. $5 to Scott.
Stuff.
Was it a Jaguar? Careful.
Yep.
Was it a Jaguar?
Yeah. The title is Stuff.
Stuff. $5 to Scott.
The next one I'm gonna make is more stuff.
$10 to Rich. Do I hear 15? 20.
No.
Did you just bid? Oh my god. I'm just gonna take whatever you say.
No, I didn't mean that.
So it's a 10 currently to Rich Teru. Look at the multifaceted sky.
I think I just gave my son the dirtiest look I've ever given my son
I'll
before.
go 12.
$12.50 to Scott. Do I hear 20? We might eventually bring up the camera straight, but it's okay for right now.
What did you just say?
The camera's pointed down, but it's good for now, and we can point it up after.
I just didn't understand.
Why
the words.
$12?
Well, I'm not saying real words, so.
That's what it's worth to us.
So, $12.50 is the current bid. Do I hear 15? $12.50
I hear nothing.
going once.
15.
$15. Also,
I
Rich,
did hear
you-
Felix say emphatically, "This is the greatest painting I've ever done." So
Yeah,
big round of
it's really
Felix
great.
for.
Yeah, for that feeling. That's a good feeling.
I wonder what Felix
Did you say 15, Rich?
Yeah, 15. to that.
15 to Rich. Do I
Yeah, I
hear
bid
20?
$15.
Somebody say 16. I don't want him to have.
15.
We've talked that way.
$15. Are we going to price it out now? So it's
Going once.
going twice,
Going twice.
going 3 times.
Going 3 times. You have until the end of John's poem to bid on this.
And John, I have a question. Would you like, because
We don't have a stand right
we
now.
don't have a stand right
You'll
now.
have to hold the
Would
mic.
you like to just speak? Because the
You want to hold the mic?
You
It'll
wanna
make you feel
hold
like
it,
Frank
or-
Sinatra.
or would you like to just speak without mic? Yeah, perfect. Wonderful.
So big round of applause for John. Woo!
There you go. You're welcome.
Good job.
Oh, I'm expecting you.
So this is for my chapbook, which I could auction off, I guess. And the chapbook is called Broken and Strong Family Fragments by Me, and I would like sign it. And Loft 112 in Calgary made it before they like stopped being Loft 112. And she went on to become a brilliant librarian in Airdrie. And was doing good work there. Anyhow, so if you like this, you could buy it for a reasonable price. And this is like, so I had a writing prompt one time where we're supposed to write about 2 possessions. And one of the possessions is like newer, and then the other possession is older, and they're having a conversation about you, like they're your possessions. And the older one is telling the newer one all about you. So I kind of thought about that prompt, but I turned it into like a bullying poem instead. And it's called Said One of My Shirts to the Other. Sure, you now sit proud and hopeful, draped over his shoulders, hugging his torso. The wife and kid weren't wrong when they said your fit was good. But do you really think he'd ever be seen with you outside of this house or even very far past this closet? Dark, like way past this bedtime, festooned with flowing flowers he probably doesn't even know the names of, petals too delicate to see the light of day, and rows of fancy buttons prancing down the front like the silly soldier from the Nutcracker Ballet he's never seen. Slim fitting when he's insecure and grew up on 90s bulky. Did you ever think he was going to pull you off, except to pull you off and wrap you around that coat hanger at the last minute after changing his mind, like he always does? Sure, he thinks he's getting braver, more artistic, flamboyant even, and his heart's in the right place, but he can never hold this kind of change in his pocket. So hang loose, hang low, hang tight, hang anyhow you like, except on him in public. You extrovert shirt, you bougie blouse, you all too apparent apparel, because it's time that you know the thing that I do, and believe me, him too, right down to his bones. The nail that sticks up gets pounded down, and today the roll of the hammer will be played grimly and gravely, squarely and straightly, by dependable me, the gray polo shirt he wears every Tuesday. Oh, thank you. What's that?
That's amazing.
Yeah, sure.
That is so great.
Welcome to collaborations. Thank
Hey,
you.
that
Yeah.
sounds like the end of the bid. Did I win
Yes. And did you want to sell that in the auction, or
Okay,
would
yeah,
you?
sure.
would-
sell it now?
Would
Yeah,
you
sure,
like to?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Okay, what would you like your opening bid to be for the collection?
I don't want nobody to bid on it. That would be embarrassing.
I'll bid 50.
Well, that's a good start. So currently the collection from John is at $50 to Rich Teru. And do I hear 55? Where's the phone that we are going to get bids on, my love?
I also didn't share it. Hold on.
Okay, perfect. Oh, I didn't
Yeah, it'll help if you
tell people to share it.
There are only 10 left in the world.
Oh, then it's definitely worth
There you go.
Oh my gosh, only 10 left in the world, left of these collections. It's definitely worth it. Text 403-629-7424.
403-629-7424.
So I have 9 more in my house, and then that's it.
Okay.
He's concerned about you. He wants to make sure you have a copy.
Oh,
that's,
for me.
That's
Oh,
really
very thoughtful.
yeah.
Thank you.
We will hold on to your
Thanks,
copy and loan it to you when you've sold them all off.
Yes, exactly.
So also we are live
By the way,
on.
leave this here.
chunk
That's
is super
perfect.
hard
Thank
when
you
you're
so
reading
much.
me with it.
Also, I'm gonna go retreat now.
Awesome retreat. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Also
And
a treat.
we are going to be we are live on YouTube and Facebook, so if everyone could hit share on that, that would be absolutely amazing. We have lots of
Bye.
comments. Bye, Felix. Thank you so much for the quiche. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.
See you, Felix.
Have a good one.
Did you take your
Oh, my
socks?
Forget your socks.
Oh, there.
Jacket?
Look, there. You put them in your paint box. That's perfect. Yep. And your jacket's here.
Socks.
All right.
They all work together.
Oh, it's all in there. That's a good paint box. All right.
Yeah, tackle box. That's a good. Sorry, I don't know how to hold this and hold this. So next, I'm
Box.
going to do this.
I'll hold this if you get a sock.
Do you need? Oh.
I think it sounds like you need socks.
Here,
No
hold
idea
on.
what just happened, but bye.
Okay, now I'm walking out with Jess. Where you going?
I have to clean the stuff in the back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this is by Alex. I want to show the people at home all the parts of it. So I really like, did you want to say again kind of what you were working, like the ideas and concepts you were working? Because I don't want to paraphrase and do it poorly.
I was basically working with a mixture of found materials, like natural found materials and processed materials, and just kind of like really like mythology and horror. So I decided to throw together this piece a while back. I didn't completely finish it back then, so I kind of threw the pieces together for today.
Amazing.
Works.
Yeah, it's so great.
It took me 3 weeks to complete the full thing in a woodshop studio. I was one with the wood.
That is really, really
So you
great.
say mythology. What is it?
It's based on a Wendigo skull. And
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of North American
Right.
mythology.
Yeah.
So.
My first instinct is, oh, it's a wooden deer, but I guess
That makes sense.
Wendigo makes more sense.
So beautiful. Opening bid, my dear. Sorry, 60?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Am I right?
Yeah, Wendigo is 60.
Perfect.
Like,
So-
I'm reading it right?
Opening bid is $60.
No.
Would you text or yell out your bids? And I will, I promise, read all of those comments because I see lots of comments there. So opening is $60. And I love seeing different materials being brought in. This is wonderful. So far we have acrylic by Felix, we have poetry by John, and we have found and carved sculpture. This is so beautiful. Assemblage. You could really play with great lighting with this too. This is really wonderful. Because just as I'm turning it even, it really is changing. So great.
Something I like playing around a lot with while I was actually carving it out. We had like this spotlight that was movable, so
Yeah.
I just kind of like kept moving it around and seeing how deep I can make the coloring to
Totally.
create some artistic shadows.
That's beautiful.
You
So
want to do it again?
No, you already own the copy.
No, I have to. Okay.
to be honest, sometimes we have a copy of things here and at home because sometimes we want to read it and we're like, oh, remember that? And then
Okay,
it's like,
that's fair then. Yeah, I just wanted.
that's a kind of weird thing that we
I
have
wanted to be an
going.
honest dealer.
No, you're so sweet. No, we're like bad for that. Also, records, we get like doubles because we just fall in love with stuff. And then it's like, oh, gallery and house. And then we're like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I'll put out a $60 bid, but I can't take it home
right now.
today.
That's okay. No, that's okay. We could even, because if you're coming on the weekend, or we could deliver
Yeah,
it to
yeah.
Scott, okay?
No, I probably, or whatever.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So, okay, so we can deliver and we'll figure out things if people want to bid and they just don't know how to get it home. So, Scott currently has it at $60.
Where's my jacket here?
What
It's
color?
right there.
Blue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Say good night to everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night,
Sorry
Felix.
going home, eh? See what?
All right. So we
Oh,
are.
and it was Felix's birthday last week.
Okay, so Scott currently has it at $60. I'm gonna say, should we leave it open for a bit and just put it at the
We'll
front? or
leave it
should
open,
we-
yes.
Yeah. So, because if people get online and then they log in and say, "Hey, is this still available?" I want to make sure
Yeah,
that we.
that's fair.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
totally.
I am gonna put it up here so it doesn't get jostled too much. Is that okay?
Well, I think it's worth more.
It is so beautiful. And if you really fit, so let's not.
We do have 10 people online. We're also going to make rent this month, but Georgia gave us a check for most of our rent this month. So
Okay.
it does help us. This is really, quite honestly, the thing that helps us the most in this space right now, this time of year, this time of life, is if it's possible during the auction, if you can bring a friend to the auction, that's golden. They don't even have to spend money. Having a new body in the room during the auction is golden. If you have a friend that hasn't been here, just, you know what? We had a friend, Chris, who was a real estate agent, so she would know people's birthdays and things like this. I guess it's part of the real estate deal is you write your birthday down. On people's birthdays, if she was alone, if she knew you were alone, she'd go to your house and pick you up and bring you to Rumble House on a Wednesday. If you can find the link to us on Facebook during the auction and share it, it's so wonderful. I have so many friends that will share that link on like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sometimes they share it on Sunday. We keep writing, please share. And then people are sharing the link on Sundays like, auction's been over for 5 days. But if you can share that link on social media, I still haven't done that. So I'm sorry, I've been multitasking.
Can we actually move this back into that space now, the chair, after you're done sharing? Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to show a few pieces that we framed too by Rich Teru. So these were from the Blues Fest. Do you have opening bids, or would you like to just show them? And if people are interested, we can.
Well, this one I quite like. So I'm not dying to sell it, but I just put it in a frame and it was here. It's like, hey, let's show the work. So this one, I think opening bid would be $25 in the frame. The frames probably were $25. These were gifted to us, but that one's opening bid at 25, which would be an indication that I'd be okay if I got to take it home. That's my favorite painting from the Blues. This is my other favorite paintings from the Blues Fest. So and it's also like vivid black light. That's Howlin' Wolf, and I just love it.
Yeah.
So opening bid $25 in the frame and black light, and I just love those paintings so much.
Just going to show these.
The first one, who was it? Sorry.
Is this Robert Johnson?
Robert Johnson.
RJ.
Okay. I just wanted to show these ones first because we.
So you can buy them because we're desperate, but if you don't buy them, don't feel
Look at
bad.
this beautiful. I didn't want to. Look how beautiful the little Felix.
Marlo's friend wanted to I don't know.
Oh,
Are they in
we
there?
are currently looking at Rich Teru's painting of Felix. If anyone's interested. Also at home, this has been up for a little bit, and it was the image of our event page, just so you know, like the detail is so beautiful. It's beautiful watercolor, and we were plein air painting in the graveyard on the weekend.
You might have to say what plein air means.
Plein air means painting in the graveyard, painting outside in the plain air.
A little bit, yeah.
So sorry.
Which graveyard were you in?
So this one, opening bid for this one, Rich Teru?
$25.
$25. So in a beautiful golden frame, and the gold looks so beautiful with the blue. But he just caught this beautiful moment of Felix, the like cold air, because the air was just turning before this. It was before the snow, and it was just the air was just changing, and we were listening to a podcast, like an audio book about like the Sleepy Hollow remake. We're listening to it in the graveyard, and just painting, and it was just really lovely. So opening is $25.
Is this us now? Which is the current one?
It has 9 o'clock at the top.
Okay, hold on.
So this one.
Right, that's not it.
Okay.
And,
That's why I was like,
And this one is a self portrait that I've been keeping at our house for a long time.
Bid on Phoenix Cemetery one. Oh, your mom's coming here, so we're gonna hold that one open for a bit because your mom wants to bid on it.
My mom's coming down,
Who knows?
but did she bid? I'm so confused.
I'm still trying to share my link. $25 for each of them. Yeah. So the
Perfect. Sorry.
yeah.
So Debbie bid 25 on Felix. And this self-portrait is also beautiful. Like really beautiful. I really love that he did like pen and ink and the watercolor on this one.
Which one?
These ones.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna put this one up too because mom just bid. Sorry, Debbie. Oh, Debbie. Debbie bid. So this was the cemetery view. So this one's currently at $25 to Debbie.
The
Cemetery one.
not the self-portrait.
No, the Felix and the cemetery. Okay, now Morgan brought in some lovely ones too. I'm just gonna bring up some pieces of each buddy's and then show this. What's your opening bid for this one, Morgan?
$10.
$10. $10 for this lovely skull. Everything reminds me of The Last Unicorn, and this reminds me of the skeleton on the clock that was asking for wine.
15.
What?
15.
$15 on this one?
15. 1-5.
On this one.
On the skull?
Perfect. I was just making sure I was doing on the right one. 15 to Marlo. Thank you. You're amazing. $15.
There you go.
$15 to Marlo. Do I hear 20? Any bids coming in? We're doing good. Actually, this is really fun. This is kind of like a set, Morgan. You could be trying to bite the lovely fruits.
Yeah.
Or the next one that he painted here. What's your opening for the fruits?
What's the 5?
$5 on the fruits. There, the color's coming in really nice for home. So $5 opening bid for the nice
It
bowl.
looks like it's the life, but it's actually just out of my hand.
5.
That's so awesome. 5 to John. That's awesome. That means that's like good visual rationalizing brain connection. Sorry for my words.
Good word making, Jesse.
I'm so sorry to everybody.
Good sentence things.
But also look, you could buy the skull and then the fruit, or
Good
you could
putting
try-
words together.
What's your opening bid for this burger?
I'd say $40.
$40. So you painted that here tonight?
Yeah.
Did you have it sketched in or anything?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had it
the
outlined before I came.
That's amazing.
Really nice.
$20 on the skull.
Dude,
Amanda Ferguson.
Amanda, $20. $20 on the skull to Amanda. Opening is $40 for the excellent cheeseburger, or as Felix says, cheeseburger.
Do you know where that comes from?
No.
David Milgard's son.
Seriously?
So I taught David. You guys remember David Milgard?
Mhm.
I taught David Milgard's son. Really nice kid, kind of wild, and he had all kinds of funny little sayings like "Chaz burgers," I pick up these like weird little glitches that the kids have, and so he would say "Chaz," and
did
it was
you say
cheese.
it?
But I got to tell you, when Gord Downey died, the day Gord Downey died, I was driving into school. Was that in September?
I don't
Was it early in the year?
Maybe.
Yeah, it was a little earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I remember was I knew this young man. I won't say his name, but because he's a youth. But the son of Rob Milgard was in my school, and I knew him I think for a year, and then Gord Downey passed, and I was driving to school thinking, wow. And of course they were playing
Wheat King.
Wheat Kings.
Mhm.
I was listening to this song thinking, wow, Gordon had written this song. David Wooden, who got out of jail. One of my favorite kids wouldn't exist.
It's crazy.
And it was such a weird experience driving to work, and everybody was so sad that Gord Downey passed. And I was like, I was just so grateful. And we still have 11 people with us. How's the sound now?
Like she's a lot better with them sound off.
It'd be bad if it went down after you put the sound back up.
So this one
How do you like them apples?
is the skull currently at 25, you said, to Marlo? Marlo currently has a skull at 25.
When you hear Jesse start talking about the skull going for 25 donaires, you know she's getting tired.
Did I say donaires already?
Not yet, no.
Oh.
Usually she says donaires or dollies,
Skull.
but that's when you know the stroke is coming.
The Star Sailor is opening at $100. The atmosphere is beautiful in these pieces.
I purposely kind of like varnished it a little bit patchy, just to kind
Yeah,
of
no, I
make
can see
more
it.
of a
Yeah.
funky effect.
It totally speaks that. Yeah. Sorry, I just cut you off while you're speaking, but I was having that moment like, yeah, I get it, man. And I was like, maybe you could have just said it and I didn't interrupt you. Wouldn't that be nice too?
I interrupt you.
I got super excited though.
Keep these open. Okay. Right.
Oh, Sandra, you could just bid and take your time paying for it. You know,
I already have to take my time.
we're pro debt around here.
Well, Luca is waiting.
So this is another one by Alex. It's called The Cycle of Suffering.
Sorry, I missed this.
The Cycle of Suffering. What's the opening bid for this one? It's written on the top of your sheet.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I'm all over the place. $20. This is also by Alex. Beautiful
I
shapes.
feel that mood.
Yeah. Cycle of Suffering. Opening 20.
It's the time for the cycle of suffering. $30 for the skull to Amanda.
Whoa.
Smackdown.
Skull is at $30 to Amanda currently.
That's my Uber.
Yes.
That skull. Did you do that, Morgan?
Yeah.
Out of your head?
Well, I always use a reference for form, and then I usually just
That
figure it out.
skull reminds me of Van Gogh's skull where he's smoking. And that is the impetus for anytime I'm slowed down and I need a kid to clue in. Doesn't matter how wild or how square they are. I show them a picture of Van Gogh's skull smoking a cigarette, and they've got the paints out and they go. It's an absolute guaranteed starter if I give a kid permission to paint a skull with a cigarette. And it's like, because you get in trouble for that shit all the time too. Like, no skulls, and also guns. We're not allowed to paint guns ever. And then like we'll have a play and the play's got guns. Like, we're making guns, guys. And
They made the huge yeah, like something for costumes. I was like, well, I'm gonna allow this one.
for
As long as it's
costumes,
for your costume and you don't point it at anyone. Okay.
you don't pretend murder anybody.
Okay.
Tell the story of these.
So
Is it okay
here
that I'm sitting? Do you want to sit?
is a most excellent story.
Well, you sat the rest of the night.
Everything's fine.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you a few pieces here, and then we have some watercolors too. So these pieces are from Brenda.
Who lives across
Brenda
the street?
is our neighbor.
She's
across
known
the
us
street.
about us for 9 years, and we've seen her every day for 9 years. Never spoken to her until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
She phoned us and invited us over. Now it's funny because we're at home. She phoned us. We live in the Continental Towers, a block and a half away, but she was phoning us from across the street, and she wanted us to come and pick up some paintings. And the first painting she gave us was the size of this wall and kind of an erotic nude from the 90s.
Which
and it
might
was
be
a
up on the blue wall later in the year.
It was a stunner.
Yeah.
But we couldn't like, we can't sell this right now. Things are a bit slow right now. We're going to save this for
Yeah.
when we get some lubrication in the auction. Lubrication. Yeah. And then but we did take these with us, and then she was so sweet and eager. She phoned us a couple times to see how well the painting sold, and we 1,000% forgot to put them in last week. So we didn't even hold them up. I think her starting bid for each of these was 50.
Yeah.
And so if you would like these, she's got a really interesting story. She's a wonderful person. She lives in the housing across the street, and she would only use the money for good. She does need to move her products because
So
her rent went up,
because
and so she lost her storage space. And so now she's selling her works. And the reason we're starting the bidding at $50 is we don't want her losing her works without. This one's actually
Yeah.
really amazing. Totally group of 7.
that's really wonderful.
Can we have different titles so I know?
Sure, definitely. So
I just put tree for the first.
tree,
one.
Kate, perfect.
What was their first name again?
Brenda.
We can call all 4 paintings Brendan.
So
if somebody
Bren-
wants to bid,
It
they
could
can
be
tell us which
Brenda
one they want.
Tree, and then this is Storm.
I missed that one, sorry.
No, that's perfect. I'll go through.
50, you said.
Yeah, 50. Shark and Storm. This one, Bay of Islands. And this one is called Brenda Untitled because it says Untitled on the back. So those are all opening at 50. So please text 6297424, and then because like us, we're everyone's running out of space. These are also by Brenda, and these are 40 opening. These are watercolors. This is a beautiful butterfly. This one, and this is
Oh my god, I wrote Breda.
honestly, it's good. I would know. This is Waterfalls by Brenda. And so these are all 40 opening. Oops, sorry. I like when different pieces come up, how the atmosphere shifts too. I think when things are like so quiet and thoughtful, then the space shifts too. This one, I really love the rocks. So I don't know if anyone wants to see anything closer, please let me know. But the detailing in the rocks are really beautiful in this one. And then there's, okay, one is the Three Sisters with a little bit more cloud, if you like some nice cloud in the sky. And one is the Three Sisters with a little different cloud. Maybe she was out there plein air painting and the cloud shifted. So
They're putting buildings in there now.
It's also Brendan.
that's really sad.
Those are really gorgeous. Yeah.
Look at this one.
Building buildings there.
No, those are, we'll take our time with those.
And I just want to show them to everybody. This is Glasgow City Chambers. Very detailed.
I love those.
I need to make sure this can see there.
So earlier, I'll just tell you
There.
a quick story,
Good.
or will
Those-
I?
Yeah, I'm done.
Morgan was very politely and kindly asking what our plans for the future is, and the plans for Rumble House involve being open for six weekends in 2012. That was the plan, and I wrote 5 business plans to open Gorilla House. We meant to be open for the summer. We became so successful so fast that we had 150 people depending on us by the end of the summer. So 2012, I wrote a $60,000 check for a year's lease when I had $3,000 in the bank. And by the time that place shut down, we're doing this again. We rented this place. We signed a 5-year lease. We couldn't fathom actually pulling that off. We're kind of expecting to sign the 5-year lease and get sued after we made it through a year and a half or something for breaking our lease or what have you, which we probably wouldn't know because we have a pretty decent landlord. 5 years into Rumble House, we thought, well, that was it. That's a 5-year mission, just like Jim Kirk. Nobody could spend that much time in deep space. We signed a second 5-year lease 4 years ago. And so we're just rounding the point where we got keys to this place 9 years ago, and we have 1 year left in the lease. And then shoot me if I sign another 5-year lease. I just might. I probably will because I'm an idiot. But to get through this year, there was a recession before COVID. we were like kicking ass being the last gallery in the world to kind of get by during the recession, during the COVID. The big galleries were struggling because so many of the art buyers were downsizing from these $100,000 paintings and $10 million houses. It didn't affect us because we've been pretty working class since the start. During COVID, we did quite well because people were at home and they had their needs met, and we were keeping this event open on the live feed. So we got a bit of a nest egg. We bumped that up. We went back to live in person. It went up higher. We got shut down a second time for COVID. I don't know if you guys remember, it hit us in waves. The second time we got shut down for COVID was fine. We did great. When the world came back the second time after COVID, it was harder to get bodies back into the auctions, but that's fine because we're still going online. We've probably reached capacity when it comes to finding the millionaires that are going to support us, because the millionaires we knew from 10 years ago are starting to downsize. The $100,000 heirs from 10,000 years ago are starting to downsize. The $100 heirs are starting to downsize, and we're not failing in any way. We paid our rent all the way through COVID, and I thought this month we might be dipping into our own savings to keep the gallery open, and Georgia kicked in, so that was really sweet.
We really love you.
Jess and I quit drinking, so it turns out we're going to be able to support the gallery until the end of the year, because we actually blew enough money drinking that
which hurts a little.
about the same amount of money that we're going to lose on the gallery this year, and we have no problem with that. But the thing that I keep thinking about is we're still selling art because we love you. We love the artists. We love supporting artists. But we're living in a world right now after a recession, 3 waves of COVID, summer forest fires, all kinds of troubles, that the people that have always bought our work are starting to downsize. And, you know, if we don't sign our lease next year, I'm kind of looking forward to not having to sell anything for a while, because I've sold 1,500 paintings, probably $2,000 paintings.
Yeah.
But my low estimate is I've sold 1,500 paintings over the last 10 years. Jess and I don't keep anything. Felix doesn't keep anything. Oliver didn't keep anything. And I'm kind of looking forward to just, you know, painting and giving my paintings away next year. But please don't feel disheartened if the bids aren't super high, because like we're really doing great for the world we live in right now. Yeah. My conscience struggles a little bit. Knowing that the people buying our artworks are also struggling.
Yeah.
It used to be, Rumble House had always been a mix of the haves and the have-nots, but we live on a planet of have-nots right now with just a handful of haves. And maybe what I'll do next year is just start a revolution, Che Guevara style. And, you know.
That shouldn't be on the live feed.
Yeah, on the live feed. So if anybody has a good recipe for Molotov cocktails, I'm thinking of starting an army next year. Let me tell you something. He probably, after the Molotov cocktail comment, might change his mind. But Felix's grandpa, he played spoons on The Cat Came Back, and he ran his life running this amazing business, and had an opportunity to retire, and is living quite well now. And last summer he took me out for a burger, and he said, "Rich, if you want to run for politics, I'll support you. I'll back you." So I had the ex-father-in-law offered to support me if I ever wanted to run politically, and I think that's a pretty good endorsement. If you know,
Ex-father-in-law, yeah.
Ex-father-in-law.
That's a good endorsement.
And he's a full fledged conservative.
Yeah.
And he knows I'm a communist, but he's like, you have a good
person.
character, and he'd back me. So I really think that
You have integrity.
if we're not rumbling next year, we're starting the militia. Okay. Get your balaclavas.
In the meantime,
I'm on live feed right now.
we will paint. Who's tired? I'm just missing words.
Also, we not only did we quit drinking, we also quit eating sugar.
So
And
we're on edge a little.
Yesterday I had mandarin orange right before I drove home from work. I don't remember the last 10 kilometers. Either that mandarin orange was infused with something that I shouldn't have consumed, or I can't eat sugar anymore, because I was like tripping balls the last 10 kilometers of work. And I was convinced, like,
Yeah.
What's that?
Did find it in class.
I know that's what I'm saying is like I got to be more careful about eating used food because it was like I was cleaning up the room. If it was an apple, I'd be like, no, I'm not putting my mouth on an apple. But I thought, well, it comes in a little shield. You know, I peeled the shield off, ate the orange. I was like, I haven't had one of them in a while. Drove halfway home, and then you know when like time's warping in on yourself, like where did the last 10 blocks go? How did I get here? And we're listening to an audiobook, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening in the story. And then I started slurring my words, and I'm like, either I had a stroke, a seizure, or I was what did they call it when they used to slip you acid in the 60s?
Dosing.
What?
Just dosing.
Yeah, no, there's a word for it when somebody would like slip it to you. Like,
Spike was well.
The orange was spiked.
I know what you're looking for. Yeah.
yeah, or it could have just been the sugar.
You a mandarin orange.
What, all that money I wasted on booze when I just lose my mind on an orange? What the hell, you know? Like,
Now we call it the Cosby.
Oh, jeez.
if anybody
I think
has a
that's-
rich uncle they want to share the live feed to, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So next up in the auction is by Alvin. I really love this. It's warm in the gardens. That's a nice way to put
Right? That's the Rumble House.
beautiful.
And it's my robot.
So beautiful Devonian gardens, keeping warm in the cold.
You really have to hold that, Jesse. You really have to hold the picture still.
Sorry.
That's how that works.
30. In all of the little pictures, there's going to be ink drawings, and there's such great little. I'm noticing even more just as I'm standing.
I'm going to
Yeah.
say something. Maybe it'll inspire you to buy this piece. He's been putting pieces in this show every week for the last 200 Rumbles. He's so diligent, so supportive. Oftentimes, the pieces either don't sell or they sell for the first bid. And then he hung a show this summer and sold out, sold the whole show. And that's what got us through August, is we hadn't been putting up art shows in a while. And we put up an art show in August, and you know, like we have to reinvent this place every few weeks. The last most recent reinvention was just as simple as turning the sound off the live feed in the first 2 hours and putting music back on. Do you guys like having the music back on? We didn't really notice the difference because we're in this space 40 hours a week when we're not teaching, and we're blasting tunes, right? We turn the tunes off for the auction for like 200 Rumbles. We turn the tunes off for the auction and the beginning part. To us, it was like 2% of our day didn't have music. But we just realized I realized one day in September, the people coming into the space have lost 100% of the music that they used to listen to. And so we made the executive decision to start
Play
listening to
the
music
music
again.
again,
Yeah. What's the opening bid for this?
30.
I would bid 30 on this myself. Only I got to save up for November's rent.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is by Morgan. And so the last time we were the last piece we were talking about last week, he was talking about his aunt's what
Toll painting.
tool toll painting. So
You have to hold that still.
I'm so sorry, I'm trying to get the difference.
If you hold it still, the camera will find it.
Okay.
You keep trying to move it into the camera, and
It's true.
the camera
This
will
isn't
find it.
necessarily what she does, but it's my own kind of.
Like paper tool, where they build it up.
No, toll painting, like it's like brushwork paintings. It's very folksy.
How did you
And,
find the Gorilla House the first time, Morgan?
I was taking a business class in Rundle,
Yeah.
and it was because I was trying to figure out a way to open something up for art. And then he told me to visit Rumble House. And
Who told you?
it's one of the guys there that was like a teacher or like an instructor. He
So-
heard of this place. And
Come down to
Cool.
Rumble House.
Yeah.
And that was 10 years ago.
yeah,
And then you were kind of a punk ass kid when we met you.
yeah.
You were covered in tattoos.
Then too, yeah, because
Yeah.
I started getting tattoos at 18.
I haven't seen any of your tattoos anymore, but you used to, I guess. And Morgan is a professional fashion model.
Well, no. When I was real thin, I was scouted a few times.
Yeah.
But,
And Morgan wrote a book. Where's that copy?
It's
It's
in the
here.
back,
Is it
yeah.
in the rack?
No, it's in the back here. Oh yeah, you're right.
It's in your book's in our rack.
No, it's not in the rack, but I should get it and put it
Yeah.
in there. Should I grab it right now?
Yeah, grab it. And Morgan is actually responsible for at least 5 off Yeah, no, I put a bunch up. Oh, there's 14 people with us though.
Sounds off.
Sounds back on.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sound should be
Huh?
back on.
Oh, sold?
If you could text
Did it
me
sound- okay.
the word butterfly to let me know that the mic is working again.
Oh, yeah. Kelly said it's back
Yeah,
now.
Did she say butterfly?
Lou
No.
just texted me saying,
It's not back, is it? Dinger ring a ding a ding dang dong. Ding ding ding.
Okay. Thanks, guys, for all the butterflies. So,
I don't know why she ate the butterfly.
so these are from last week. Then,
Oh, was there a bid on the?
this one?
Yeah.
There, I don't think so. I asked Randy,
I
but
don't have
and you
one
didn't.
of that
no?
description. Is it, what,
It's like a field. You said people in grass.
I have people in grass that didn't sell.
Yeah, I
anything.
think this
What's
is.
that one start at?
Huh?
What's that one?
What does this one start at, my love?
$20.
$20.
30.
Thank
$30 to
you so
Scott.
much.
Thank you, Scott. So yeah, Sandra will just start fresh on it because I don't think it was bid on last.
No, I'll look and I'll keep it to my finger here and you can just tell me and I will look to see.
Perfect. Scott bids 30 on it this time though.
I could totally understand versus reality.
Yeah.
I don't live that life anymore, but I used to.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think
Thank
that's
you.
like recreational.
Okay,
Right.
so these are some of the ones I did when we were out at the cemetery. This one is that there's this really beautiful glowing bush of like just the most beautiful
It
oranges.
was glowing.
It was really lovely.
It's really awesome. I used to live in Mission.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right off of 34th Avenue.
Yeah.
My backyard was the cemetery.
That's so awesome. Yeah, we were right at the like the walkover bridge. We walked over and then yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
near like CTV or something? What is that? What are all those towers over by the
Yeah, it's on the it's on the west side of the boundary.
right?
So opening is $5 for these ones. So this is one view. And this is more. I really like the colors and the grays in this one because it was such a gray day.
Mhm.
And I was trying to mix some really nice grays. So this one. And then this one I started just drawing with ink on the more abstract watercolor background. And one of the themes was the deadly eye. And it said, don't look in the deadly eye. You didn't look? Oh, you did? Goodbye. So $5 opening bid for those.
I'm gonna go home, but if anything sells, you just just to Uber or e-transfer.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Thank you, Morgan. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll bid
This is
500.
sacred because I had 100 of these and now I have one. And I haven't seen a single copy.
That's super sacred. Oh my gosh. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, did you hear that?
What? Sorry.
Morgan doesn't have like that. He doesn't have any, and he hasn't seen the copies in a long time.
Did you bid on your own, Morgan?
No,
Oh, I'm just taking this home.
he's saying it's special.
I'm
That wasn't. Yeah, no, it wasn't a bid.
Hey, that's mine.
Sag. No.
I'm just fucking with you.
he's just being-
sorry about my
no.
language.
Yeah. You're right.
$20 for the deadly eye.
Whoa, to who?
Hey, Morgan, I'll walk out with you. I'm just gonna work out.
Debbie.
Thanking you, Debbie, but you made me such a beautiful thing. I can't. You can tell her she.
But it's really cool. You ever think about picking up a tattoo gun or something?
Oh no, I would need a whole lifetime to practice that. I just befriend tattoo artists.
I was like, you can tell he watches over me.
Yeah,
I needed him again.
totally. Yeah, I will. It's really I love the line work, but I'm not the tattooing is like that is a whole lifetime of learning. I don't even have enough time to read all the books I want to read and do all of the embroideries I want to do. It's like weird mortality feeling when you're like making those decisions like, okay, I only have so much time left. This is the first one Rich Teru did today. On the live feed, you can see the making of. There's lots of emotions. He said, maybe I should have made something gentler. I really like it though. And gosh, I love how he's doing watercolor lately. This is so different than this is the little robot. And like the colors are so beautiful that
Sorry, the starting was.
I'm not sure on these ones. What are your opening bids for these guys?
$5.
Each?
Yeah.
$5 each.
I'll bid on the robots. Since it's today.
I know. I opened your thing and I saw it right away. Your
It
post.
is in no means. I know the Iron Giant inside out, and it is by no means meant to be the Iron Giant.
I love the
Literally.
colors.
However, it's almost like if I'd read the book and hadn't seen the movie. It was a reinterpretation of how the Iron Giant could have been. So that's little what was his name again? I've seen it 1,000 times. No.
Huge.
Yeah, Hogarth. It's Hogarth and the but not literally. It's not meant to be the Warner Brothers version, but it is meant to be the Iron Giant. And that's the school I used to get the shit kicked out of me in when I was a kid. And a nice fall tree. And I don't think you're getting the full effect of the watercolor skies in the background. This is kind of funny. I kind of reached my capacity for day glow acrylics and blacklight acrylics in the summer. It's like, I guess everybody I know has one. And we walked into the art store and I grabbed a set of watercolors, and they come with prearranged colors. But I was just like, hey, do they have like an empty one so I can pick out my own colors? And I think I made 40 paintings since I picked up the watercolors.
Yeah.
And I've gone through a couple pads of watercolors, and I don't need to stop because I love it, but I also can't stop. Like, I just love making the watercolors. And I apologize if I have too many pieces in the auction, because I know that other people want to sell their work too, but I can't stop.
No, it's okay.
So the pieces I make in the auction, I usually start the bids at $5. And then the pieces I've been making at home, they're not that they're better or worse. They're just I don't want them to be taken for granted, so I'm not selling them for $5 a piece. Because if I put 20 paintings in, 20 people could just divvy them up, and they'll all go for $5. So I'm going to hold on to the other ones for. Actually, this one's pretty ballsy. I didn't like it when I first did it, because I had this sort of photo reference to an actual panther. I didn't want to do a literal panther, so I made kind of a wilder, sketchier panther. But now he's kind of like a communist panther, and that's again maybe where I'm headed is.
There's a slant. So there's a lot happening. Michelle bid $10 on each, the robot and the Jaguar.
Michelle,
Then
we gutted the place because Michelle was so
I
kind.
know.
Michelle came in one day and said, one of the things that might be keeping some of the art buyers away from here is that, and we're like, yeah, but the is kind of more like we just let that grow because we're spending so much time on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Backstage became everywhere. And so for the last month, we've probably filled our dumpster about 3 times just moving stuff out. We took a bunch of products out of here and put it into the storage across the street. Our storage is filled to capacity
we
now.
made crazy storage.
But like, have you noticed there's an extra
Foot around.
1,000 cubic feet in the space now? And we're slowly getting rid of everything. We're also kind of getting ready for a midnight move, but that's a different story.
Okay, so
Isn't the auction kind of nicer when I don't have to turn the lights out all the time too?
Yeah.
For the black light?
Debbie bid 20 on the Iron Giant,
That's nice.
aka robot. Shuja, what's your opening bid on your book? Was it 50?
Where's your phone?
It's right there. 50, yeah. So Shuja has an entire sketchbook of sketches. The opening is the opening is $50 for all of the magic that is inside this. You could just sit and look at magic forever. It would take a while. There's lots of stuff. There's also checkered floors and bears.
I'm sorry, Jess, but I was moving this chair and you said that the robot went for.
Oh, robot is at $20 to Debbie currently. I don't know if anyone else is gonna. Then we're waiting to hear if Michelle. Yeah, there's a few people texting at the same time. Kelly, sorry, people kept getting in just before you, and the opening bid on this lovely piece is $50.
What was Kelly after?
The Iron Giant. Shit. Sorry.
If there was a movie I've seen the most number of times,
Tony bid $50 on the Panther.
it's the Iron Giant. I've probably seen the Iron because I also would show it to my kids at school all the time. And I just love that movie for so many layers. It's actually, hands up if you've seen it. There's some weird loops in my life with the Iron Giant. For one, I quite like the voice of Dean, which is Harry Connick Jr. He was a child star in New Orleans when he was like 11, playing with the greatest jazz musicians in the world.
And all his CDs.
Yeah, I don't have any because I find kind of like his more modern music a little bit kind of like saccharine. But the idea that he was this child star that grew up and kind of like had all these magic skills and things. What's the question?
Was that last week?
Okay. I guess so. I don't know. I'm bidding for my friend.
It said Rich City, so I'm assuming that was it.
Okay.
Sorry, Rich, I didn't.
Hey, your cheekbones look great.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I think that was
No,
last
that's
week.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna
right.
go double check my phone. And
Okay.
See if there's another one.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. And thank you for being that advocate.
Big fan of
Thank
Harry
you.
Connick Jr. I actually quite like that the Iron Giant is Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
I gotta look at this.
When I played the film the first 10 times, I noticed that the executive producer's name was Pete Townsend. I thought that's weird because if you're a movie producer and your name is Pete Townsend, wouldn't you call yourself like Pete Townsend Jr. the Third or something to differentiate yourself from Pete Townsend of the Who? But guess what?
It was.
It is.
Pete Townsend of the Who
Yeah.
made that movie. And what I particularly like about it is it's animated to look two-dimensional hand drawn, just like a Sleeping Beauty or something. But it was actually half 3D rendered. It was the first time anybody had the insight to 3D render something, and instead of making it look like a round plastic bubble, to then flatten it to two dimensionals. But the pistons are all working just right in that motorcycle, and all the 3D stuff in there is crazy.
I'm so sorry.
Did you know the original book was written by Ted Hughes to cheer up Sylvia Plath's children after she killed herself? The Iron Giant was the stepdad's attempt to try and cheer up the kids after they lost their mom. I could talk about it for
No,
an
that's
hour,
such
but
a
I'll stop.
beautiful-
That's
Okay,
alright.
so Rishma. Okay, was this at 30 to Scott?
I put 30.
Rishma bid 35.
Okay.
Michelle bid 25 on Rich's self-portrait.
This one?
Self-portrait,
Okay,
yeah.
pass it over.
Okay.
She just gave me a look because I wasn't supposed to put it in the auction.
No, I didn't.
But we would
Rich,
love-
We need to
Yeah, no, Rich can't look at his face any longer.
Sorry,
And when you see this one in
This one?
person,
Michelle 25.
it's some really nice.
The colors are so beautiful.
Yeah, because you know what?
This is watercolor
actually,
too.
to be honest, this is one of my this is quite old, this piece, so I've aged well because I don't look much different. This might be within the last 10 years I painted this, but it was the first time I ever used the it's called peach tone gesso, and it's just a lifesaver when you want, because it's super, the opacity of it is so powerful, and the flexibility of the tone can be used. I mix it for every skin tone from every single kind of human being.
Right.
And so we're cautious about not using the term like skin tone, but the peach colored gesso is such a fantastic tool when you want to get some really lively
And opaque. like,
colors
yeah.
of human flesh. And then so you can use black, red, or yellow or blue to add to this flesh tone. But this was one of my first early experiments with just what can I do with this one tube of gesso to make skin tone in it. It kind of combined with a
Very good.
little bit of cheap watercolor, a really amazing tube of do I keep saying what some gesso, but it's not, it's
Wash?
Gouache.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
so sorry. I used the wrong
Yeah,
word
I
like
was
9
thinking
times in a row.
it's gotta be gouache.
Yeah.
They
I'll go 25 on the blue player. What's his name?
Robert Johnson?
Yeah, Robert. Johnson, yeah.
Nice.
RJ. There we go.
Those were done at Blues Fest.
Yeah.
This is on a
Um,
nice canvas set. It's like a canvas.
This
Paper
was my
and it's
favorite
framed.
piece from Blues Fest.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of several things. For some reason, because it's Robert Johnson, but it also reminds me of Daniel Johnson.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and there's a story behind that, but I'm not going to get into the details.
Mhm.
It also reminds me of Harry Crumb,
Yes.
who
'cause
did
of-
the Robert
Yeah,
Johnson
yeah.
images.
yeah.
And it also reminds me of being out in the summertime thinking our lives will never change. We'll be sitting in the sun painting all day for the rest of our lives until September. Then our lives ended. We're back to teaching again. But this one I quite love. And we were donated these frames.
Yeah,
So it's kind of nice that you get the frame and the
I know.
painting. That's my favorite painting from the summer.
Nice.
Well, you put it up to 30.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Okay. Did
What's
we-
the bid on my Communist Panther?
50 to Tony, I think.
We got this amazing book from Mark Vasquez that was an original hand photocopied law book from the original Black Panthers, and it's super amazing to hold in your hands. But this is just a communist panther. It could be of any background.
Mm-hmm.
The Alberta Communist Panther for 2025 when we start the revolution.
When I lived on the
Coming
army,
soon.
What?
growing up, I lived on army bases. right?
Yeah.
We had in Ottawa this tiny little library.
Yeah.
It was just like a little building, but it was those buildings that like the old book smell.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
because no one went there, and I would always ride my bike there. It'd be me and the librarian, and it'd be like hiding in a corner with these really old books.
So
And I
nice.
just like it's not there anymore. It makes me sad, but it was like the best because it was like tiny.
These magic little,
Old
yeah.
little-
There's some really neat
Mhm.
passages in Neil Gaiman's Art Matters where he writes about his experience as a small child being dropped off at the library.
Yeah.
And I think maybe
Michelle bid 55 on the Panther. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I like that.
Yeah.
Sorry. I like that part in the book too.
But just the thought of the old books, like that's how old
Mhm.
these books were.
because a lot of them used gouache.
And,
Gouache is
and just like
gouache
squirting-
is as old as the Egyptians. It's like a $5,000-year-old. The Egyptian walls were painted with gouache.
yeah, like the egg tempera and
Right.
yeah.
And
totally.
so it blows my mind, like when we think about how, like acrylics were going to be the big thing to replace oil paints, but the acrylics from the 50s
Right.
are starting to peel, and it's like, what do we do now? And so, I love ancient materials. I love the ancient colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
The 4 oldest colors of every culture in the world: black, white, yellow, and red. Black, we've been drawing with charcoal for 100,000 years. We've been drawing with white, yellow, and red for 40,000 years. And 10,000 years was the blue, the Egyptian blue.
Mhm.
Right.
This is by Kelly. Kelly, we hope you're feeling better. She's at home not feeling so great. And Scream Fest starts pretty soon. So I hope you're feeling better. This is
I think
Her-
it started.
piece. Oh, it
Kelly, are you
started?
online with us?
Kelly? Yeah, she's watching.
Okay, I have a funny
Opening
story.
$60 for snacking with friends. Yes. What's your funny
Kelly,
story?
do you know the people from? Is she online? Is she talking to us?
She's been texting.
Okay, I think my sister was like best friends with a guy that started Screamfest.
No way.
Yeah, and so there was 2 brothers, and they owned the junkyard.
Yeah.
That turned into like a subdivision, and I think that the family shifted to a corn maze, and I also think that I
Mike Shepard.
yeah, so I think my sister, what's Mike Shepard's brother? Does she know his brother's name? So I think Mike Shepard and like Doug Shepard were brothers. and they were just two friends of my sister's all the way through. And also, what's our friend Kent Hare? They all went to university together and spent a lot of time at Mount Royal College in the pub. And Kent Hare was the Energizer Bunny. He was some hockey star. He got shot in the neck in a car chase. And Mike Shepard and I think Doug Shepard, I might not have the names right. They were kind of like my sister's secret crushes all the way through university, and they were all quite good friends. And I think I met one of them, and I met the brother that liked her the most and she was the least interested in. And I also think one of my first wildest students was a nephew of that family in some way. So the Shepherd, was it the Shepherd Junkyard or something like that?
I'm not sure.
That's that family, and they're quite infamous. It's kind of like my dad built a boat with this guy.
Shepherd, yeah.
Yeah, my like when you had a cabin on Zabel Road.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, is that your road?" She's like, "I don't think so." I'm like,
I didn't even put the two.
"It is your last name." So they had a cabin in Iridium on Zabel Road, and
Wow.
she never stopped to think that maybe her family had pick and pull. Yeah, that's the Shepherds. Kelly, do you know the brother's name? Anyways, this is the story of somebody was talking about this earlier tonight about my sister and her crushes. And wait, if you've known them for 23 years, then you probably know my sister, because I think they were going to school together 23 years ago. But I remember my sister would always have like the nicest, coolest guy with a giant crush on her, and then she would have a crush on the dickhead brother. So I met one of the Shepherds. And I was like really rooting for her to like, hey, how about that guy? And she's like, oh, he's nice, but you know, too much Sex in the City. She was looking for a Mr. Big. I only know who Mr. Big is because I used to go over to my sister's house to keep her company. She made me watch Sex in the City.
Here, it's this phone.
What's happening?
She's texting you.
Oh, Kelly.
So these two pieces are by Jordan.
Dean Shepard and Mike Shepard. I don't remember that name at all. I think it was Doug
Dean
Shepard.
is pretty close to Doug.
Right.
Opening is $10 for this cute little
Which was the
guy.
good looking one?
Little Cyclops cat.
Are they good looking? That's actually the big thing. I think they're like two handsome, almost twin brothers that also own their own pick and part and pretty irresistible.
Oh,
Those
which
back
also
those-
cycles back to Iron Giant because he
Dean.
had his own. Yeah.
Once I turn this into art, I can't give it away. People were
Exactly.
stealing his garbage. Hey man, you're in the road. Yeah.
This
I know
is-
every line of that movie.
This is also by Jordan. $50 opening bid.
We call this CoffeeZilla.
The all-seeing.
I am not the
eye.
kind of guy to turn a man into the authorities. What? Whose is that?
By
Shujas.
Jordan.
Oh, really? I thought
Yeah.
that was Shujas.
By Jordan. The all-seeing eye. $50 opening bid.
Shuja, if you don't wake up, I'm gonna draw a mustache on you.
All right. I think we will.
It's been
go-
working for Screenfest. I've been working for Screenfest since it banned 2000. So 2000 is probably
23 years ago.
and maybe 20 years after my sister graduated from Mount Royal. Too.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Sometimes I super panic. We went to go visit Jesse's cousin because his car dealer, German car fixing shop is a block away from her school, and super convenient. But like we're at that point where our car dealer stopped really cherishing us because our car got paid off. So we're like kind of like surfing for car dealerships. Turns out her cousin, her first cousin, is a manager at a German automotive shop
by
a
the
block
flow.
from her school.
What?
And so we're like, yay.
Across from the Jeep dealership.
Yeah.
Like right
I always look in there.
It's cool.
right on the way home. So we stop and we're just chatting with their cousin who's just starting his life. Is your younger cousin,
Yeah,
right?
younger.
And then Jess is like, yeah, we're just thinking of retiring soon. And he just looks at me like, wow, how old are you? I'm like, just don't talk to her mom about me being old.
This is a super cool piece of Chen making art at the grill house, vintage grill house piece on metal. On metal. I don't even know. I just wanted to show that. Okay. I think, are we kind of losing steam here?
No, I got a ton of stuff.
What do you mean a ton of stuff?
I got a ton of stuff. Sell all my stuff. What about these naked bodies?
Oh, my necklace is there, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
This is my favorite collection of bodies from
It is
figure
good.
drawing.
I have all
Really
these-
love it. Thursday nights we do figure drawing. So
Oh,
tomorrow
yeah.
Who's our model for tomorrow? We have one.
Rosie.
Rosie. And I actually don't need to do figure drawing because I can look at people and draw them out of my imagination. But I like sitting down and relaxing and doing the figure drawing. So if you guys want to join us for figure drawing, we do the my personal challenge with figure drawing is to get the paints out and try and get the hues right. And
Oh wow.
this is my favorite collection of warm-up drawings from figure drawing that I've done in the last 10 years or so. So I'm just showing it because I love it.
This is by Sandra. Lovely necklace.
This
What's
is
your
crazy.
opening bid?
Can I tell you something?
$15 opening bid.
I started this, and then at 8 o'clock I was like, "This sucks," and I started another one, wanting to put something in the auction. And we're kind of hurt for cash, but I really love this, and I wish I appreciated it more.
Before, hey?
Just while I was working on
Yeah.
it.
So this is by Sandra, opening 15.
Can that
for
one we put in?
beautiful- I did, but we can put it again.
No bids on my graveyard painting. Oh, your mom bid on the graveyard painting.
Yeah, you're right. Mom bid on Graveyard and Felix.
Okay, that's the graveyard. Where's Felix?
Here.
In a frame. Isn't that nice? Do we have a frame for the graveyard
I
painting?
think so. I just didn't.
Is your mom coming down? I'm confused about
No,
what's
she
happening.
didn't say she's coming down at all.
I'm just making stuff up because I'm crazy.
It's okay. This is by Dusty. She hand wove this. Beautiful band on her loom, and she's been working on band looms on on this for a while. And the opening was, I think, was it 15 or 20?
$15 for the bee necklace.
Yay!
Is Galen still here?
I think Galen took.
Dusty, right?
He didn't
Yeah.
say goodbye.
He said goodbye. You were talking. He said to say goodbye.
I'm the worst friend on the planet.
Oh, Shannon is watching. Shannon bid on your necklace.
Oh, Dusty's was 15.
15. So this
Is Shannon James a middle name?
Shannon James is our teacher friend from school.
Is that a real name?
James is her last name. Yeah.
Because I often find people with like two first names are giving me their like middle names and is like a special secret middle name.
Oh, no, it's not secret. Everybody knows her last name at our school.
Like my
Mrs. James.
my email. has my
Yeah.
name.
Do you want to leave your? Is that okay? Yeah. I'm just worried about that one. Do you want to take it with you, or what's the? Yeah. Or can?
Oh, I put a bid.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I apologize.
Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?
Don't take it with you.
Yeah. Why don't you come to Figure Draw? It's usually $20. I won't charge you. You got to remind me not to charge you tomorrow.
Alrighty, sounds
You
good.
don't
Come
have
join
to
us.
mind. It's good. This is
First one's
Bye.
free. It's like, here, have a little heroin.
15
It'll
to
be fine.
Shannon.
There you go.
This is opening at 15. Sorry, I'm totally getting everything.
Oh, so there's no bids on the beating, the loom of the land, so to say.
Can you pass me those?
Which one?
The loom in your hand.
Oh, this, no.
It was 15
Which one?
for the
Can
leash.
you pass me those?
I'll
We called it a leash because we weren't sure, but you can use a belt or a leash.
Oh,
Well, look, because it
Oh.
has this part on it,
yeah.
and if you had a bunny or something, you could
Well,
put.
I don't, but
You don't need a bunny. I think it's
$20
like-
on Dusty's leash.
Oh,
That
okay.
makes sense. This is a painting I did of Dr. John
oh,
that I'm going to give him
So
as a
20.
Christmas
Is
card.
it 20 if you'd like? Yeah.
Unless I get a $100
I'll
bid.
25.
Here's a
25
painting
to
of
Scott. This is
Yeah,
it.
that's
This is
something.
at 25 now.
Okay, yep. Kelly, you're out of luck. It's at 25 to Scott. This is a painting of Jessica's beautiful, strong chin.
I've heard it bing like 3 times. I don't know where the phone is.
Is it in your pocket?
No, I checked there because that's usually where,
Here.
where it is.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You put that phone there and then you put these on top. It's on video.
Okay.
I agree.
And then you growled at me.
I just
And
heard it
everybody
bing.
will believe you every time that it
No.
was it was Rich screwing
I
up.
just needed the phone.
This is a beautiful painting of Jessica's beautiful chin profile. I see this all the time. I'm too shy to look her in the eye, but whenever she's looking away, I stare at her.
Mhm.
So opening bid for that is $5. Here's another one. While she was driving, I snuck a peek at her beauty. And actually, I did this one last week, kind of like, because sometimes I'll do a painting and I'll finish early enough that I can do another painting. And this is one of the reasons I really love gouache. Is from the angle I was exaggerating the underside of her chin because I was kind of slouching in my seat, but I compensated for that angle in the rest of the painting, and so she ended up having a kind of grotesque jaw, and so right after I took a picture of it last week, I went back in with this blue line and cut that nice clean line. And one of the things I love about gouache is that you can do both watercolor. It has all the properties of watercolor and acrylic. And I suppose the only reason I don't exclusively paint with gouache and as my favorite medium is it is a bit hard to do bigger paintings because they usually come in tubes. But if I could get buckets of gouache.
Yeah, it's harder to find.
Yeah.
You know what?
Buckets of
I
gouache.
would come looking for it at the store when I used to work at it, and we didn't have a lot. But last time I went in, I had a bunch of new sets of it.
Oh, cool.
So if I'm there next time.
Oh, that's
Love
good
it.
because we were actually just wondering on the weekend, does Michael's have gouache? Because
No, he didn't. And then just last week I went back in because I was looking for a couple of things, and I was like, oh, it's funny. People still ask me questions. I haven't
You're
worked
like-
there for like a long time. Do you know much about this? Yeah, I worked there for 2 years. That fed my crafting habits.
Howlin' Wolf.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice. Howlin' Wolf is going to make it home. Did this get a bid?
Yes.
Who got it?
Rishma bid. No, who was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
35.
Okay.
Rishma bid.
And then
35.
did this get a bid? Who's got the Iron Giant?
It is 22.
Debbie? Yeah.
Mama. The song goes up and on. Okay, I want to show this. I don't know what to do with it.
Pretty cool.
It's a painting I did of Palestine from the news. So I don't want to sell it,
No.
but I'll trade it for a good deed.
What do you want me to do?
What would you do?
I would go out to the park, like Lougheed Park, right next to my building.
Yeah.
And
Nail this to a tree with a note that says "Stop
No.
War."
no.
That'd be good, though.
Take out a big canvas and paint.
Yeah.
And a bunch of brushes and things to wash people's hands in.
Done. Sold. Here.
That's fun.
And it's
Good
gonna
trade.
be- and it's going to be auctioned off here. And whatever comes out of it.
This is me having a snack in the fridge
That's super
in the middle of the night.
Thank you.
This is how it looks in the dark when I'm looking for peanut butter. This is actually really neat.
It's a really nice paint.
I like
one.
No,
it.
it's incredible,
The midnight
Rich.
one
The
looks like a little like spirit going into the kitchen.
Totally.
You know, like
Yeah,
I really
Peter Pan's
felt
shadow.
Totally.
the Twilight
I
Zone.
like that.
And I don't know if it's so much as this reminds me of the Twilight Zone as much as it reminds me of watching the Twilight Zone when I was like 15 and had insomnia. When my insomnia started, it was kind of in high school. My mom and my sister went to Wales. I was left at home with my dad, who, to be honest, spent most of the summer in the pub. I didn't have a driver's license. I remember one night he phoned me up and he's like, "Hey, you know those blue keys hanging on the hook in the kitchen? I need you to come pick me up in the station wagon." I'm like, "I don't have my license." And I spent that summer kind of by myself. And what I remember about that summer was at about 11 in the morning, there's back-to-back episodes of Three's Company. And then there was crap on TV all day and all even like A-Team in the evening, which I did not appreciate. But starting at about 10:30 at night, there was a series of the Honeymooners. Oh, it was so funny. Can't watch it now, but it's so funny back then.
Yeah.
The Honeymooners, back-to-back reruns of The Twilight Zone, some stupid dating show that drove me nuts, and then there was another great show late night. And the only other thing I loved more that summer than waking up late and watching reruns of Three's Company was staying up really late and watching 1950s science fiction.
That's really nice.
And then once a week, I'm going to be the only person in this room that remembers it. Once a week on Sunday nights, they would replay old comedy shows on the Barkley Flakes comedy hour. I think it was on like CJ 92 or something at 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock. They would play these old 1940s, 1920s. And that's actually where I cultivated my love for jazz. I just realized this second.
Really cool.
I did steal my mom's jazz records, but it was because I was listening to the way your brother discovered jazz through Fallout 3.
Mhm.
I discovered jazz through the Barkley and they would play Sing Sing Sing. That was the Sing Sing Sing. Yeah. Gene Krupa on the drums.
Mhm.
That was the theme music to the Barkley Flakes comedy hour. I don't know if Barkley Flakes was like the original supporters or if they were like the supporters of the rerun show. What did the bits for these get? Were they individuals?
5
There's
opening.
only 20 on the eye.
This one is at 20.
That's got 20?
Yeah.
Against your ma?
Yeah.
And this doesn't have a bid? Can it be mine
It can be.
for free?
Yeah.
Can this be mine?
Yeah.
This was like a great day in our life.
It was a really good
Did we sell the
moment
other one? Did we sell mine?
to my ma.
Okay, so this we'll put in. Do we have a little frame this size?
We might, yeah.
You seem really tired.
I
What do we
hope-
got online still? Okay, well, I think we're getting by.
Thank you, everybody.
That was an
so
exciting
much.
event.
Yeah.
And sometimes at the end of the night, we can talk Jesse into singing.
Let's do it.
Mm.
Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Remember I'll always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll ride home every day. And I'll send all my loving to you. I'll pretend that I'm kissing the lips I am missing and hope that my dreams will come true. And then while I'm away, I'll ride home every day and I'll send all my loving to you. All my loving, I will send to you. All my loving, darling, I'll be true. All my loving, all my loving, ooh, all my loving, I will send to you.
Kelly was asking to see the tiny Rich Teru graveyards, but she is incorrect. The large graveyard is a Rich Teru graveyard. The smaller graveyards are Jessica Teru graveyards, if you'd like to see them. And there's a couple dings here. Sonia, it's 2:00 in Newfoundland, but here, show me the stuff that doesn't have a.
Sonia, you're so sweet.
I'm gonna
She's
quick-
in Newfoundland first.
I'm going to quickly put some pieces up that didn't sell for
Sure.
Sonia, just if she wants to take a quick peek. There's a painting of Jessica's beautiful profile.
Oh, there's this.
There's a painting of Jessica driving our Volkswagen.
A beautiful watercolor by Brenda.
A reminder of see you Wednesday. Jessica holding a sign. I'm a little obsessed. I like to watch you sleep. This sold. There are some nudes from figure drawing that did not sell. And
Thank you so much. That's
this I think I'm going to give to Dr. John as a Christmas card. And did the robot sell?
Yes.
Who got the robot? Oh, your mom. I keep asking the same question.
Thank
Did
you,
Morgan's
Sandra,
Flowers
so
sell?
much. No.
Okay. This is available.
I will check that. Thank you. Sandra.
It's got orange in it. Kelly, I'm telling you, that's Jess's piece. It's right here.
Yeah, take off.
See you. Thank you so
See you
much.
tomorrow, Sandra. Take care.
There's a river troll
I'm glad you could make it.
painting.
It always cheers me up. So
Yeah, it's always good to come. Galen calls every week,
Wait,
500
did,
weeks in a row, and says he doesn't think he's going to make it.
did she say this one?
No, I want that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said she wanted $20.
Kelly, I love you. Stop bidding on this. I want it myself.
Okay.
I need to see.
You can bid on this.
Okay.
Let's
I-
see.
I put
I'm not
the
sure what I
numbers
got. I think I got
There's
Do you?
rich
Nice.
snacking at night.
like the cool.
how
I think this sold.
this is
Yeah.
This is my Escape from Witch Mountain
Awesome.
or something.
So, Scott, if it's easy,
Yeah.
so
There's
this
these
is
beautiful
I'm gonna-
So I
paintings.
got, I think the carving, right?
Yes, yeah, you got
And
the
then-
yeah, 60, yeah,
And then
30 and 25.
for the
This one's something of a
beading,
phenomenon.
the loom work.
Yes, yeah,
The loom of the land.
yeah, totally. So you got the carving, and you got Robert Johnson. Oh, it's in my.
Oh yeah,
hands.
right,
Here,
right,
here,
right.
here.
I almost forgot about that.
And
That's
do
even
you want
better.
your book back?
Yes, please.
Here you go, Shuja. Thank you so
There we
much.
go.
Take care. All right. So yeah, I'll get Robert Johnson,
Yeah,
and
but I can't take the.
that's okay. We
I
will
just think-
work on that. No worries.
You know, I'll probably be down this Saturday.
Yeah, that is perfect.
I think I can do that. You guys are here,
Yeah, that is a perfect idea.
and then it'll be less hazardous maybe. Or who knows,
All right.
right?
Is this okay? Are you?
Yeah.
You're just across the street.
Well, yeah. so
Would you
I-
like to take? Would you like to take this when you get the?
Yeah,
um,
probably best.
the carving?
Because
'Cause this is
I got my
easy.
little, I got my little bag there, and I gotta carry those up.
Totally.
And
Not
I don't wanna
unusual to be
Oh, yeah,
low
right.
with
I don't
anyone.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. But if you find that you're in love with anyone, not unusual. It happens every day. No matter what you say,
That's a good thing.
you'll find it happens all the time. Good night, everybody. Rich sings Tom Jones, and everybody goes home.
Our thing is that's one thing we didn't tidy up is the back, and it's not plugged in right now.
Well, that's fine.
Would I be able to just text it to you with an email?
I
transfer?
e-transfer.
Is that easy?
Well, I can
Okay.
e-transfer right now.
Oh, perfect. That's awesome.
How's that?
That is
And then
so
it's just
helpful. I'm
that.
so sorry. The machine is
No,
not plugged in.
e-transfer, it's all good.
Thank you so much. Oh, don't stress too much. That's perfect. We have classes tomorrow night too, so that that's
It's all
awesome.
in church state.
Yeah,
really
it's perfect.
I fell asleep during the other church.
Honestly,
I was very late.
it's totally. It's like a cozy space that you don't have to apologize.
Good job.
You'll find it happens all the time. No matter what you do,